All right, we're back. Let's see if that's any better. Let's see. Let's see. Wait for a few people to jump in here. See if that's any better. What up, dude? What up, Joseph? Can you hear me okay? How's the feed? Is it good? Is that better? Ah. What up, Brian? Thank you. Yeah, you can hear me. All right, cool. Cool. We'll let a few more people jump in here and do this live thing tonight and kind of address a few issues and move forward and get some stuff off my chest. So, yeah, it'd be awesome. This will make me feel better anyway. All right. So, what I had put in the description of the other video was let's discuss comments and haters and cars and everything else. And I tell you what, guys, I have been getting a shitload of hateful comments about this car right here, about everything I do to it, everything I touch on it. So I am cuckoo. Yeah, I'm over it. So I'm filming my last video with this car today. I'm doing the CVs on it, and then it's going off to get a new motor. And you guys will never see this car on my channel again. It's honestly, I know I'm not supposed to let the comments get to me or the haters get to me, but it got to the point where I had to disable the comments because people were just, it was just too much for me. So, see ya. Thank you. Haters are my biggest fans. Now, I get it, Brian, but they were getting like awfully personal, attacking me personally. And if you want to attack me personally or something, do it in one of my videos with my Honda or my own car or something. But don't do it in a video about this car because I don't know. I guess, you know what? It is what it is. No, I don't need to keep my distance from Cletus. He's actually a good dude. I really like him. We get along well, and he's a good dude. So it's not about keeping my distance from him. It's just the people that comment, you know. Apparently, from what I didn't understand, listen, right on. What up, Dave? Sorry about that. I like videos and when you give stars. Yeah, it is. But apparently every one of my fans or people that watch videos about this car, they're all professional fabricators. I didn't know I had so many awesome professional fabricators that have been doing off-road fabrication for their entire life, and they're master fabricators. Apparently all of them are. It's crazy. I've never had that many. You know, I've had I don't know. Look, I work right up next to someone who I believe is probably the top 5 off-road fabricators in the world. Some guys don't like Joe. Some guys like him. People love him. Yeah, I know there's a lot of fabricators, but I work, like I said, I work alongside one of the best fabricators in the world, as far as I'm concerned. I've always said that guy has forgotten more about off-road fabrication than most people know. And today, when I started taking hate for him over some stuff that I did to this car, I just wasn't going to have it anymore. So I turned all the commenting off for that video. And like I said, I'm filming one last video with this car today, and you guys just won't see it anymore. It won't be on my channel, and that's cool. I'm good with that. I don't need this car to further my YouTube stuff or whatever. And again, guys, I don't do YouTube because it makes me a ton of money, and I have a regular 9-to-5 job. I have a regular career. Plus I do this stuff. Plus I do my Honda stuff. And I do a lot of other stuff that you guys don't even know about. Like I literally get like 4 hours of sleep a day because I do so much. And I don't film all of it, but I do the YouTube stuff because it's fun. I like it. And honestly, more for me, I do the YouTube stuff. So if anything ever happens to me, my daughter has somewhere to go and she can always be there. You know what I mean? Unless they kill, unless they kill that format, you know, that stuff will always be there for my daughter, my grandkids, and for future generations of my family to come, they can always go on YouTube and watch their great grandpa on the internet. It's how he used to be. That's more reason why I do it, to be totally honest with you guys. The monetization from it is nothing. I literally make nothing from YouTube. Nothing that's worth, whatever. I'd do it anyways. I didn't care about the money. So, project cars. Let's talk cars. My car is up there. We enjoy the videos. Thanks for what you. Yeah, I appreciate that, Paul. Cool. Thank you. Yeah. And again, I know everybody likes my my videos. I've been doing a lot of work on my cars up here. She's almost done. 60% done. I know Dave's watching right now. He's been hounding me about about whether or not it was done. I've had a lot going on, and I'm actually going on vacation next week, so there won't be a whole lot of movement on that car. But I have been filming everything, so I will have a video coming out about that. As you guys saw from my last video, full moon summer ride. I am down for a full moon summer ride, bro. I'm definitely gonna have to shake this car down before the season. The Glamis repair videos are the best. Keep those coming. I will, but the season is over. So during the off season, you're going to see all the other stuff I do, like putting cars together, working on my Honda, doing all that kind of stuff. So, drag racing, that's what I do in the off season. I even think last summer I shot a video at the river. We went to the river I'm actually going there tomorrow. We're going to Blythe for some boat races. So like I said, I do a lot of other things outside of sand cars and this stuff. But yeah, I'm not going to take any more of the horrible comments about myself or anybody that I work with. Tony, you're down for a summer run. Hell yeah, bro. As soon as my car's done, I'll let you know what day we're going to go out. I think Dave Unknown's going to come, Sushi Dave, and a couple others. So I know Mike Locke's got another San Limo that he's finishing up, and I think we're going to be done right about the same time because I got to wire his car before I wire mine. So we'll be right around the same time. I think we're all going to go out for a shakedown day trip or even at night. That would be awesome. Let's see. So yeah, like I said, I'm doing CVs on this car. Parker over at Gear One hooked this up, and I'll show you guys a sneak peek of these. Let me find the boots. I don't know where I put them. Gear One designed their own CV boots, and they're freaking awesome. So this is the 930 version. This is for my car. How much power does the Turbo Street Bug make? It made 532 to the rear tire with no nitrous. That was just on 22 pounds of boost. And I did get push rod tubes for it today. So I'm going to be fixing that car real soon. So these are Gear One's new boots. They took a lot of time and effort. My latest video is about these boots and putting them on this car. So they're pretty awesome. So you guys keep an eye out for that. And then check this out. I'll show you guys something cool. I was just filming video. I'm going to get CV grease on my hands. But I put a set of Gear One Super CVs in my car before I did Rocky Mountain Race Week 3 years ago. So these have 1,500 street miles on it, plus 3 hard dune seasons. And I took them apart today and cleaned them for the very first time. I have not seen these CVs outside of grease in 3 years. And when I took them apart, they're perfect. They're like brand new, like they were never used. I mean, there's a little bit of wear on them, but I'm going to throw these right back in my car. So huge shout out to, hey, thanks, Tony. Huge shout out to Parker and the boys over at Gear One for hooking me up with those. They're going to get reused and put right back in my car since I stayed 930 on that car. You guys need CVs, boots, anything like that, hubs, contact Gear One, talk to Parker over there. They make the best product on the market. I guarantee you there is nothing on the market that can compete with this CV. Guaranteed, this is the best thing on the market. And I don't care what you say. This is the best CV on the market. Guaranteed. So yeah, like I said, I got some push rod tubes for the bug. I'm going to get that fixed. Probably not till I get back from vacation. I'm actually taking a real vacation. I'm going to Cancun for a week, which is friggin' awesome. I'm going with our boy Tom, and some members of his family. We're going to Cancun together. So a lot of you guys ask how much I hang out with Tom or how much I talk to Tom. every day. We talk at least 2-3 times a day, and I'll see him tomorrow at the races in Blythe. And so Tom is doing well, and talk to him all the time. How's the feed? You guys still hear me okay? Pour some more water in my cup. Tom seems like a great guy. Tom is the best, dude. He is. So you got those friends. There's you got 2 types of friends in this world. I do. You got 5 o'clock friends, and you got 3 a.m. friends. And I can count on one hand how many 3 a.m. friends I have, and Tom is probably number 1 or number 2 on that list. And if those of you guys don't know what I'm talking about, he's the friend that I can call at 3 a.m. and he's already got his shoes on when he sees that it's me calling, because he knows he needs to do something with me or for me. So he's definitely a 3 a.m. friend. Guy give you the shirt off his back. It's good. So, Brian, my motor. I don't know if you watched my last video about putting glitter in the oil pan, but we shrunk the rod by like 2 millimeters, dude. It was bad. So, will my 091 bus trans and 930 CVs be strong enough to hold LS3 power? Boy, that's a controversial subject, dude. I'm going to say yes, because I ran a 091 bus trans and an LS in my car for 3 years, but I didn't. Caucasian says no. I did it in my personal car for 3 years and never broke a CV ever. But when I had that setup in my car, I would accelerate, shift, accelerate. Don't dump the clutch. Don't put a bunch of bang force in there. Hey, what up, Jared? Hold on just a minute, guys. Go figure. Hello? What's up, bud? For Denver? Okay. Right on. I'll take them. Thank you. All right, bye. So there, you guys got a sneak peek into my job. I'm actually on call, and that was my National Operations Center. Yeah, like Phil said, congrats on finally getting your license. Super pumped for you, Jared. Yeah, I'm stoked, man. That was awesome. What was not awesome, but awesome, was us turning it up afterwards. But what do I think of the new Maverick R Max 4-seater? I haven't seen one yet. I haven't seen the 4-seater. I've only seen the 2-seater. Like Phil said, it depends on the driver. Like I said, I had an 091 in my car with an LS for 3 years. I never even broke a CV. It handed work. Yep. And when I pulled the trans out, I got it out of the car and I ended up going to a 2D, and now I'm gone up to a sequential, but it did hold. Like I said, it all depends on how you plan on driving the car. And it also depends on tire size and air pressure. Air pressure is something that's very, very important in the dunes. It's not at like you would think. It's kind of backwards of the street. When the sand is sticky, you want to air the car up. When the sand is dry, you want to air it down. With the Rogue tires that we use, I leave my rears at 20 all the time, no matter what, just because they stay up on top and float pretty well. So, just push you to make more on a belt block. Yeah, you know what, Jared? Believe it or not, I didn't know it, but shake the cheeks if you love Glamis Fab. Oh yeah, I didn't know it, but that block is only CSS. It's not even sleeved. I made 732 on Friday or Thursday night at PFI on 24 pounds of boost, and we were planning on turning it up from there. And then once we shrunk that rod, because it's got eagles in it, I got it apart and looked underneath and was like, oh my God, this thing's not even sleeved. It's just CSS. That motor, and I know it sounds like, crazy. I didn't know what I was. The black licorice gets sold. Heard he got a new mid-travel car. No, he's actually got a long travel car. He bought a San Limo last year, and yeah, the walls look good, Brian. No problem. He sold that car, or didn't sell it. He bought that San Limo last year, and it's been sitting. So now he has both. He's got a long travel car that's over at San Limo right now. They're redoing the rear trailing arms and strengthening them up. So, Brian, that motor is going to go – it's going to Anthony Donalo, and I'm going to sleeve it. I'm not going to deal with the CSS stuff. You can only go 81.5 on CSS, and it's just not worth it to me. So I got a guy that sleeves, so he's going to sleeve it. I'm going to end up putting my aluminum rods in that motor. And then I forgot I was telling you what I was doing with my motor. I've got a set of Manley Turbo Toughs, and I bought a GSR crank. Crank should be here Tuesday. I got Manley Turbo Toughs, and I've got bearings on the shelf ready to go. I'm going to put my new motor together with Manley Turbo Toughs, Trom Outlaws, and that Manley should hold 1,000. So I'm going to I'm shooting for 1,000. I just want that 4-digit, and then we can turn it down from there. How many passes did you have on those Eagles? Jared, dude, I had a Rocky. Are you calling me out? What fuel am I running in the Honda? E85, pump E85, right out of a gas pump. Jared, I had a full Rocky Mountain race week, so 1,400 miles, plus on race week, you do at least 2 passes a day for 5 days. So that's 10 passes there, plus, 1,200 miles. I probably have 50 or 60 passes on that motor, plus Rocky Mountain race week, plus tons of dyno hits, and I only changed the bearings in it one time. The non-turbo toughs, it was about 400 horsepower over recommended. Yeah, so Manleys are going in, turbo toughs. I got a crank coming. I got a crank coming out of Canada. It's the guy that sells all the heads to 4-piston. You call him Sherry. Brian, if I call you out, who's going to stage me proper, dude? You're the man when it comes to that, lining me up. So if we're next to each other, I don't have anyone to line me up. Moving to AZ in January, and I have a Baja Bug with AT tires. Is it worth going to Glamis without paddles? Yeah, definitely. You can just air them down. You'd be fine. I'll line you up, then jump in my car. Oh, dude. Hell yeah. Yeah, that would be great. I don't know, Brian. I don't know if I got enough for you. My transmission, she said, oh, crap. So the other part that I didn't get to film is I dropped my transmission off over at my Arizona transmission guy that does my Honda stuff. Normally I do it. I just didn't have time, so I'm going on vacation. So it's a friend of all of us boys. He's definitely a friend of PFI. It's a guy, Bryant Robinson. And he took my transmission apart, and it was not good. Even though my transmission worked perfectly, it shifted fine in every gear. That exactly, Jared. Brian's the man. It shifted in every gear perfectly. It felt fine. I was like, you know what? I put this thing together a year ago. I'm going to have my transmission guy check the synchros and go through it. And turns out that there was some debris in it. Problem is that there's nothing broken in my transmission. There's just debris in the transmission. And I couldn't, for the life of me, figure out where it came from. And then I remembered that I bought with the Wildcat with the Yaris engine. Do you know what transaxle they were running? I think it was a bus. So I had them disassemble the LSD, and there was tons of debris in the LSD. And I bought the LSD from Shane. It was in his CRX. and I think it was in his CRX when he lost a transfer case, and I think it shot some debris into the LSD, and it ended up in my transmission. My totally 100% my fault. I should have taken the LSD apart. Yes, he can. Yeah, Ralph seems to be where transmissions go to die these days. Yeah, I know he did. I know, and that LSD was probably in all of them. So I skipped. How do I say this? I dodged the bullet. So we got the transmission. He got it all apart. There was a bunch of debris in it, but everything looked savable. He was able to clean everything. All it needs is new bearings. The synchros still look good. So we're going to just clean it, put it all back together, and I should be good to go. There was some pitting on fourth gear, but they believe that's because I'm stupid and I use OEM Honda transmission fluid in a straight cut gear set. So we're going to change that. But I'm just a big OEM guy, dude. I don't know why. I've always loved Honda's products. I mean, I was making 500 plus horsepower back in the day with all Honda parts. I did it with Honda bearings. We did Eagle rods, CP or JE pistons. So we only had just literally aftermarket springs, valves, pistons, and rods. That's it. Everything else in the motor was pure Honda. Bearings, everything Honda. And we were making well over 500 back then. So, and we used Honda fluids. I just always stuck with it, and it's probably my fault. I won't complain if he's yeah. Let him blow them up, man. Rufus will build them for him. So I dodged the bullet. There was just some debris getting smashed up in the trans. Everything's okay. Even fourth gear being pitted will be fine, and we're good to go. So my transmission is waiting on some bearings. It's going to be really tight for me, though, boys, because my crank doesn't get here till Tuesday. And then I leave for Cancun on Friday after work. So Tom gets here Thursday because we're flying out together. So what diff is it? It's the Gear X LSD for all-wheel drive. Tom gets here Thursday, so I think Thursday night when Tom gets here, we'll assemble my motor here in the shop. I'll be gone for a week in Cancun, and the minute I get back, I have to load everything in my truck and head to Colorado to put my motor back in the car. So it's going to be tight, but I do not want to miss Speedfest in Nebraska. It's just, I just love it. I love hanging out with you guys. I love being out there drag racing. And I'm dragging some of these Arizona guys out by their ears, man, and I just can't get them to commit to going. Anthony Donalo, baby boy, who he's got an 850 car. That's it's a real sport front wheel drive car. I'm actually trying to talk him into coming out. We fly out at 5 a.m. on Friday. Okay, we fly out at 5 a.m. So everything from my other motor I'm able to reuse. I had an ACL oil pump. I just got to take it apart, clean it. The head's off at the machine shop, getting clean, and they're going to check it for straightness. If not, they're going to deck it a little bit. So I have head gasket. I have everything to put it together. So hopefully that goes smooth. Man, I was hoping that one hater that was talking a bunch of crap to me today was going to jump on here, but I guess not. How hot is it here? It was 100 today. Jared, you should have brought it, dude. It was awesome. But the problem is everybody broke. Shane broke. I broke. Mario broke the beater. transmission lost, and yeah, there's just everybody. And they actually found out. I don't know if you guys have talked to Jamie or not, but yes, Brian got it. Lots of problems. Someone effed up with the fuel mixture. Yes, they did. Yeah, I found out on Saturday when I was at the shop pulling my motor out that there was some old watered down fuel there that got mixed in, and that but hope their cars aren't hurt. They just wouldn't run right. So do I have AC in my shop? Yeah, I've got a mini split back. You can kind of see it over my head right there. I got a 3-ton mini split up there. Works pretty well. I got all the insulation done, so now I just got to work on drywall. Once I get the drywall done, it'll make it even cooler in here. Steve-O. I don't think it was Steve that did the fuel. I don't know. What else? You guys get any more buggy questions? People jumping in and jumping out, so. It was funny because the comments that bugged me about this car were about single shear versus double shear. And, you know, there's just certain terminology in the way people say things. And I may take things and say things a little differently than other people do, but I won't say who it was. I'm not going to say it either. But again, when I repair something on a car like this, you guys saw from my video, where's my invite? Brian, you were always invited, brother. Anytime you want to come out, dude, there it is right there. My car will be done this season, and World Cup fuel, I'm guessing. Jared, you might be guessing right. Brian, you're always welcome, dude. I've been trying to get Jamie and the boys to come out again. I've got access to a couple cars. I have this car. I have, not this car, but I have Booster Boy Kyle's car, which is on the other side of my shop over there. You know, and I could put 4 of you guys in my car. I could drive Kyle's car. I also have a 2-seat Razor that we can throw paddles on. I've got plenty of seats and people with cars, so it'd be awesome. Thinking of a Price Designs wheels for the new car. Rick, call me later on those Price Design wheels. Kate is awesome, but just call me later. I'll call you when the live's over. Yeah, I trust you driving my car, dude, for sure. Am I going to launch a first annual Dune Attic summer run? Wow, that's not a bad idea, dude. Maybe I will do that. Maybe we'll do a Dune Attic night run or whatever, like a moonlight Dune trip. That would be awesome. My plans. My plans are to. How the heck do you all afford those caliber of toy? I've been sleeping in tents and riding 3-wheelers and buttercups since I was 5. Okay, Mike, I'm going to tell you how I afford all this stuff. I never stop. I don't stop working. My car, so I think when my car's finished, it's going to be, I just sold a car like this last year at this time for $125,000. The guy who owned the car, he was over 300 in it. The difference is for me is I'm building the same car, but I've owned that car for 11 years. So I've upgraded that car slowly over time. And I work with the guy who manufactures that car. So that definitely helps. I'm hooked up with a lot of manufacturers, so I get parts at a heavy discount. You know, I've got other people that hook me up. Joe Fab especially. Dude, I make electric power steering units. We do a lot of trade work. I'll do labor for him or wire a car for him. He does work on my car. So a lot of it's just give and take and trade. That's how I afford all the stuff that I do. I do have a toy haul. Like you said, you've been sleeping in a tent. I used to sleep in tents. I used to sleep in the back of my truck. I do have a 30-foot toy hauler. I have a Weekend Warrior, an FS30. I paid, babe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I paid $3,500 for it salvaged, and the front cap was ripped off. Like how I afford most of my stuff is I buy shit that's broken and I fix it myself. And that's how I do it. I trade, flip, offer services to people. I can wire sand cars. I do tons of them all the time. I actually have 3 cars at Joe's right now that I'm working on, one right now and 2 others on deck, plus mine. So I do a lot of trade work. So that's how I do it. Like I said, I never stop moving. Jose, yeah, I've got time, man. Hit me up. Send me a PM on Instagram, and we'll talk about it. I can get you on the schedule for sure. Still planning on racing the Bug. Yeah, I just got a set of push rod tubes for it today to fix it. If everything goes haywire and I cannot get my Honda motor finished for the event, I will be bringing my Volkswagen. I can only run 10.0 because it doesn't have a cage. It's got a chromoly roll bar in it and wheelie bars that attach to it. And it's got door bars that come down, but it doesn't have a halo. So that's it. Buy stuff, fix it, and sell it. Yeah, I do. Motor swap on the Mini. Absolutely. That's getting an FE3 motor. That's coming soon as well. I tried to sell that truck or trade it, and in the condition it's in right now, it's just not worth what I think it's worth. No one will give me what I think it's worth, so I'm going to FE3 swap it, make it perfect, and then I say I'm going to sell it, but I'll probably end up holding on to it forever. I always get into stuff like that where I go, yeah, I'm going to flip this, and I end up keeping it. When is the Dune season? Starts in October. Goes October to May. What is an FE3? So an FE3 is a Mazda Protege motor. Or, it's either Mazda Protege or it's the Kia. It's a dual overhead cam, fuel-injected motor. Makes 130 horsepower or something like that. But it bolts right in that Mazda with the same motor mounts, and it bolts right to that transmission. And I think the stock Mazda B2200 motor made 80 horsepower when it was brand new. This motor makes 130 or 150, something like that. But it's a direct bolt-in swap. We've never bought anything new. He's always been the one to see through all the mess to see the beauty. He's constantly working his butt off, and this vacation is needed. Oh, most definitely. Yeah. Most definitely. Like, so I'll tell you guys a story about how I actually ended up with my Bug that's over there. I know you guys have seen it on the channel. That's a $30,000 build. Easily cost 30 grand to build that car if you just bought a shell of a Bug. I had a Bug. I bought a 67 on Facebook Marketplace for $1,200 or I forget what it was. And had a bad motor in it. Probably won't be around in November. That streetcar takeover. It depends on which weekend it is in November, but I can get time. So I bought this Bug, and I wanted to put a turbo motor in it. So I had a customer from Glamis that had a turbo motor in his sandrail, and he wanted to switch to a Honda V6. So I bought a $800 or $600 Honda V6, did a wire harness in the computer. I did the swap. I was in the whole swap like $1,000, and he gave me his 2332 turbo motor to put in my Bug. Not that Bug, but the other one I had, the blue one. And did that deal, had a whole bunch of issues with that car. Ended up selling the motor out of that car for like 6 or 7 grand, and then bought my Bug over there with that money. A friend of mine in Havasu owned that car, and he buys and sells and flips classic cars. And he knew I was a Volkswagen guy, and he just held it for me until I was ready. Kirsty, what up? Hey, you may have ridden down in that Bug. Yeah, yes, you have. I'm sorry I missed you when we were in Colorado. I just was hectic as hell. It's the 20th and 21st. Yeah, I can do that. That's the week before Thanksgiving. So I could probably swing that. Depends on where it's at. Yes, the shop is full. My car's up there. Cleet's car. This thing's leaving on Monday. It's going to Cord's Performance, getting a new motor. Yeah, but it's rough over here. Hey, I saw you got a plasma cutter from that company. That's sick, dude. Those things are awesome. Yeah, I've never. So again, back to how I afford all this stuff. I've never bought a brand new car in my life. I've never owned anything new. Um, I just always hustle, find something low, fix it up with whatever I got laying around, and sell it high. What up from Ontario, Canada? What up, James? Oh, 20th to 21st. Where's it at, Jared? Is it at Pueblo or where's it at? That streetcar takeover. You guys should come to streetcar takeover in Arizona. Why don't you guys try coming down to one of these events? The IFO event that was at Phoenix I went to, I didn't take my car, but there was like 20 cars total there. We could have just had the track to ourselves all day. It was like $90 to race for basically like a private track run all day. It's 1,000 degrees out here. Yeah, Jared, I've had my Honda for almost 20 years. Weather's getting nicer. Cars are starting to come out. Your home track. Yep. What sort of reliability do I expect out of my buggies? I feel like my buddy has to replace his trans every other season. Well, Mike, it all depends on how you drive your car and the setup on it. My car should be good for many, many seasons to come. So somebody taught me this a long time ago, and I used to not do this. Like it's really easy in the Honda game to make a lot of horsepower, right? You bolt. Yeah, it's sparkly. So there's a really easy formula to make 500 plus horsepower with a Honda, right? You can buy a K24 stock TSX motor, put a Sidewinder manifold off of the marketplace or eBay, put a turbo on it, put a little boost in it, put some injectors and some E85. You'll make 500 horsepower. At that point in time, your problem is the gearbox, the transmission. Same thing with a buggy. Identical, same thing. Same thing with any car. You always want to build your car around your transaxle. So whatever your transaxle will hold, that's what you want to build your car around. Oh, the streetcar takeover is here in Chandler, and that's the one you're going to? I'll be here, bro. That's my home track. I'll do it for sure. Maybe we can get some of the other boys to come out. That would be awesome. And then, hey, since you're here, I mean, it's only 3 hours to Glamis. We can go rip for a day too. Maybe come a day earlier or later. My trailer always stays there. So, and my car won't be staying there, but E-Series transmission can hold over 800 horsepower. Yeah, but for not for very long, my friend. You know that. So always design your power plant, your car around your transaxle, no matter what you're doing. So it just depends. Yes, Shock Talk is going to do my car for sure. Carl is the man. He is a really good friend. He's awesome. And yeah, he will get my car as soon as it's done. I'm actually just going to take it once it's finished, take it out, shake it down, drive it around a little bit, make sure everything's cool, and then it's probably going to go right to his shop. That guy is killing it. Yes, he is. He and dude, what he did to this car is pure. I almost died in this car. I don't know if you guys know that. Cletus drove it when he first got it. It was jacked up to the sky. The suspension was stiff as a brick. It wheelied like crazy because it was so stiff. And then I drove the car and I tried to drive it through the whoops and it started bucking like this. And it bucked up like this and I landed on the front tires rolling forward. If there would have been another bump in front of me, I would have rolled this car and trashed it. Scared the life out of me. I got it to land on the ass end. You know I'm the biggest hater. I know you are, bro. I know you are. I was just talking about you too. I was talking about what a dick you are. But yeah, that car almost killed me. I took it to Carl. You can hit the whoops in this car wide open now as fast as it will go, and it just takes it. Yes, Tom is my biggest hater. Nice to see you on here, brother. I'll see you tomorrow at the races. Somebody asked about you earlier and asked me how much I talk to you or how much we talk. And I'm like, pretty much every day, 2-3 times a day. So love you too, brother. I will definitely see you tomorrow. And tell your son I'll be bringing Eddie's freaking block with me, dude. Guy called me like 30 times yesterday. So yeah, after Carl got a hold of this car, dude, freaking night and day. I don't know if you can see that, but he triple rated. This used to be dual rate. It had a spring here and a spring here. Now it's got 3 springs in it. He triple rates all the cars and then puts these cool, really nice bump stops in them. And he's just the man, dude. I don't care what anybody says about him. I don't care nothing. I've driven cars, several cars. He touched them, and night and day. And he works on Foxing, Race Runner, anything, and he knows how they work. And it was crazy. He was telling me about a car that he did. In certain shocks, I don't know if they were Foxes or Kings, but right there where the bypass tube is, where my finger is, where it comes through, the orifice there is too small and it causes the fluid to cavitate and not get all the way down into the bypass. So he actually drills some of those orifices out or opens them up, or I don't know, it was crazy how he I don't know how he explained it, but he opened up the passages to speed the fluid transfer up into the bypass. I know in here there's a valve and a check ball, and it goes click, 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 moves up and down, and it lets fluid pass and not pass. And he speeds that up, and what a freaking difference. What's up, Jared? You ready to go? Tom, I'm telling, these guys are all talking about coming out to Streetcar Takeover in November out here at my home track. So we'll have to do something and get everybody out here. Maybe we get Milo to come out here too. But yeah, he's dude, the guy's insane with suspension on these things, and he's just the guy to go to. He is very, very, very expensive, but you get what you pay for 100%. So he'll put you in the car like what he did with me is Garrett just left me the car. I took it over to Carl. We went for a ride. He knew immediately what it needed. Left the car with him. He took it to his shop in Yuma. He took all the shocks off the car, rebuilt them, did everything that he needed to do to them. And then once the car was done, Garrett came out. They rode together. He took him in the car, told him what it would do, what it wouldn't do, what it's capable of. And, dude, the thing just rips. Suspension is what makes things work. Absolutely. 100%. You can have 5,000 horsepower in your sand car and the best transaxle in the world, the biggest axles, and blah, 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 blah. But if the suspension don't do what it's supposed to do, you ain't going nowhere. Oh, that's right. World Cup is the first week in November. Ugh. That'll be tight. We'll figure something out. We're definitely going to go racing together. I want to try to get the boys out here this year. I live like 40 minutes from the track, so it's closer than Bandamere is to where the shop is, and everybody else lives except the brothers. So yeah, my car's up there, almost done. I got a few more things to do to it, but it's definitely coming along. My wheels, I'm going to show you guys the wheels. Check this out. Hold on. Dude, tell me that my wife did not kill it on the color combination. I don't know if you guys can even see the purple in that. Check that out. Absolutely freaking killed it. B-lock rings are purple, but the color combo is freaking sick. She killed it. I took these 20-year-old wheels and had them powder coated. They look freaking brand new. Yeah. Yeah, she killed it on the colors. So we're also talking about, we're going to change the color on this car too, but that's for another day. You'll have to tune into Cleet's car to see, or his channel to see what's going on with this thing. Yeah, she's all right. So yeah, as for my car, bypasses in the front, all the way around, and I can't wait. I can't wait to get it to Carl. The motor's in, the trans is in, everything's pretty much ready to go on that thing. Just a little bit of wiring and start putting the interior in it. I did make a mistake and I didn't make interior panels for that, but John, I'm running Rogue, the 33-inch Rogues, 35-inch Rogues. And yes, I'm running 2-inch hollow spindles. What day is the IFO and AZ? I don't know. I'll have to look. I'll look it up later. Yeah, I'll get time to use my car for sure. My Dune group is kind of disbanded. A bunch of them sold their car. I've got a bunch of other people I can go Duning with. So, yeah, I'll definitely get time to use my car. Even if, like a lot of times I'll go back to Glamis. I'll work a holiday weekend. I'll go out Duning the next weekend and I'll work the next holiday weekend or whatever. So that's really the upside to my situation in Glamis and being at the shop with Joe is my trailer stays there. My trailer is still there right now. It stays there all year round. So, yeah, come hell or high water. That's right. So I can go out there whenever I want. I don't have to tow anything. Everything's already there. I mean, a lot of times we drive my wife's Tesla. You know, we've driven it there before. We've driven it to the river. And that's the great thing about it. Going back to work. See you guys tomorrow. All right, Tom. See you tomorrow, bro. Yeah, I will definitely get time to use my car. That's for sure. Man, I was hoping that double shear guy was going to jump on here and talk a bunch of crap to me, but oh well. You can kind of bait him, but it is what it is. What else? So yeah, I had already done no eye for the rest of the year in Chandler. Yeah. I'd already done 2-inch hollows in the front. I just switched to 930 midboards in the rear. So that stuff's all new to me. So new axles. Going to use my old 930 CVs like I showed you guys. I showed these a little bit earlier, but dude, over 1,000 miles in 3 seasons. What up, Chris? And they look brand new. What seats do I have in my car? Jet trim. I just happen to have one. That sun's starting to come through now. Yeah, jet trims. Let's see if I can do something about that light. Hold on just a second, guys. Nope, we don't want to do that. Oh, well, guess it is what it is for now. Maybe turn this way. How's that? That's a little bit better. Both the Phillips brothers. Yeah, hell yeah. We like jet trim seats. They're comfortable. They're heated. They have bolster. But yeah, they're awesome. They're not cheap. They're not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. But again, how somebody asked me how I afford all this stuff. I bought those seats 2 years ago, and I did trade deals or whatever, and then it was time to buy my seats. And then they just sat. I actually ended up putting them in the car, so they got a little bit beat up, but so I already had them for when I redid it. So Sherry picked the colors on the seats, and then we already had them for the rebuild because I always had intentions of doing this to this car. I just never knew when it was going to actually happen. So yeah, I just kind of wondered what all the hate was about, dude. Like, I did some repair work on that car, and yeah, that'd be awesome. I don't get it, right? Like, are people just upset that I get to work on Cletus's car? I don't understand it. Like, at the end of the day, he's a YouTube superstar, but he's just a regular dude, man. If you guys ever got a chance to meet him, he's just a regular guy. He's just like Brent. He's just like Jamie. He's just like Kyle. They're just regular guys that just want to hang out and have fun and do, redneck shit in cars. Same thing I like to do, So I don't know what all the hype is, but it's like, if you work on a car like this, if you don't do everything exactly perfect in somebody's eyes, somebody's got something to say about it. So there's people hate on people that made it. They throw shade to feel better. Yeah, definitely. And the crazy thing is it's not like I made it. Oh, dude, wait till you guys see what I'm about to get. I might be late to the game, but have you guys ever had that? Dude, that's Manzanita Soul right there. That's apple soda. Dude, game changer for me because I'm not a big soda guy.
And you just shook it up.
I shook it a little bit. But, oh, my God. This stuff is fire, dude. You guys ever had it? Manzanita Soul? There's a little taco joint over here by our house, and they had it. Everyone is jealous. Cletus is a good person outside of YouTube, but people are going to hate. Yeah, you know what it is? The amazing with carne asada, Jared. That's right. It was at this little taco place where I found it. Yeah, Chris, you're right. People are just going to hate no matter what. The crazy thing is that a lot of the dudes that were throwing shade at me were like personally attacking me, like calling me an idiot. And I'm like, dog, I just don't get it, right? Like, where's the hate come from? Like, I don't understand it. Like, it's not like, hey, you fixed this wrong. You should have done it this way. It's like, hey, you stupid MFer, you're an idiot. You're what did the guy tell me? Huh? Called me clown shoes for some reason. I just, ugh. I'm like, dude, I've been repairing sand cars, working side by side with one of the best sand car manufacturers in the world for 11 years. If he's been doing it for 30 years, over 30 years, his whole life, right? So when I go to do something on this car chassis-wise, I always run it by him. And in the video, I ran it by him. And I said that I ran it by him. And if he tells me, good, do it that way, and it'll ride, then that's – my sound's coming in muffled. How's that? Is that better? If Joe says it's going to ride – yeah. Like I said, if Joe says it's going to ride and it's going to work, then it's going to work. There's no two ways around it. There is nobody in Glamis that does what we do or does what he does. Ooh, I got it right. There's no one out there that does what we do or that can do what we do. And that's just all there is to it. And like I said, if Joe says, yep, that's going to work, then I guarantee you it's going to work. That's all there is to it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He is the guy. What'd you say? That Cleton Glamis? Yeah, he's a totally down-to-earth, regular guy, man. Yes. As far as I know it's getting a 427. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I was just a little too far away. Sherry shining light on you, yeah. He's getting a 427. I don't know if Pete Harrell built it or Texas Speed. I'm not sure. I'll know more Monday when I drop the car off. Cord's Performance is going to do it for him. I think they're going to rewire the car also. Yeah, Tom, I don't get it either, bud. I really don't. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. The worst part about it is my fear is that, Cleat reads the comments and then, it was bad. So I disabled the comments on that video so nobody can comment about it. So it is what it is. And like I said, I won't be filming anymore. I've got this last video today I'm filming today with this car, and then that's it. You guys want to know what's going on with Cleat Sandcar, you can watch his channel. But yeah. God, that stuff is so good. Like I said, I'm not a big soda guy. Is this guy at Glamis Go or I don't know. I believe the last guy that was commenting today and calling me clown shoes and all this stuff. I looked at his profile real quick, and he does have a Tatum car, and he does know Joe because he threw Joe's name out there. The hater, yeah, he's a Glamis guy. And again, any of the haters out there, you guys go to Glamis, dude. I'm not hard to find. I'd love to have a face-to-face conversation with any of them. So you guys are more than welcome to come by the shop and show us how you fabricate and show us what we do wrong. I'm more than open to it. I've had a lot of guys comment on my welds out there sometimes. Sometimes you're doing a MIG weld and it pops up on you or whatever. What these guys don't understand is what we do out there is high volume and fast. Oh yeah. So we're getting cars in and out fast, and it's windy as crap out there, like all the time. You might get a few days where it's nice, but if any of you guys have ever tried to weld in the wind, even inside the shop, and they'll say, "Oh, that's a shitty repair. You guys should have pulled the car in, stripped half of it apart, stripped down the paint, and closed the doors and done this perfect exact repair," right? It's not what we do there. No one does that there because you would be out of business. What it would take to do a perfect fix repair would take me all day versus 15 minutes and you're back in the dunes. So there's a balance that you have to have there, right? Like if you want something fixed 100% OEM factory proper, your car's going to have to go back to whoever built it or to your fabricator and put it in their shop for a couple weeks and let them fix it properly, or let us bring it back to the big shop here in Arizona and let us fix it properly. When we fix stuff in the dunes, or like me fixing the rear control arm mounts on this car, dude, in order to fix that car the way it should be fixed, the rear tabs have to come off the chassis. And it's not as simple. It seems simple to a lot of people, right? You would just take this tab that holds the control arm and you would just cut it off and just go ahead and weld another one on in its place. Doesn't work that way. Those tabs that hold the rear control arm control the camber, the caster, and the toe. You mount those tabs a little bit crooked, and you've just fucked up the entire suspension, and the car will never roll right. In order to fix that car properly, we probably would have had to cut the rear clip out of it because the rear clip is wonky at best. In our opinion, whoever built the car, whatever, it's lasted this long. The other thing is that ain't no new car, dude. That car's 20 freaking years old, dude. It's been through hell and back. So it's had a lot of stuff added to it, a lot of stuff cut out of it. It's had a lot of upgrades, whatever. So like I said, those rear control arm tabs, people are like, you should have just stuck another tab over the tab and TIG welded that and this and that, and then you're making the tab double. It just, dude, I used big weld washers. That's what they're designed for. And I fixed it properly. It will be fine. It will last. It lasted 20 years before it tore a tab. the steel that I put on there is way stronger than the steel on the tab. It's going to last way longer than 20 years. So if it works, it works. That's right. Jared, it is easier to do it right the first time, right? But in a situation like where we repair stuff in the dunes, you have to remember you're only there for a limited amount of time. So let's say you're there for your family vacation for 3 days and you've spent $5,000 just to get there, fuel, food, whatever, right? And you go out and you take your car out and you break it in the first 3 minutes, and your rear control arm tab has fucking ripped a big hole in it. Okay. Now, do we know the right way to fix that car? Yes. It's to take it back, put it in alignment jig, make an alignment jig, because like I said, those rear control arms tabs control the toe. The quick fix is to throw a bolt through there, straighten it the best you can, stick a weld washer on there, TIG weld it, and put it back together and let them ride. Yeah, definitely. So it's just to make the next path. And what we do is not sketch, like at all. You know, everything we do is a solid repair. It'll get you back out. It'll get you driving. The repairs I did on this car in that video will last longer than most of us will be alive. So, you know, I'm not really worried about it. It was just the hateful comments that came out of it. Like guys just personally attacking me for like that don't even know me. And I know to be on YouTube, it's public. You got to have thick skin, but it just got to the point where, you know, I was over it. So, but again, the guys that hate, that say that we're doing it wrong or whatever, open invitation, open invitation, boys. I had soda. Open invitation. You guys want to come to Glamis Fab and show us how it's done? Feel free to come on down. I'll hand you a Tiguan in a second. I guarantee you can't do it as fast as we can do it. Like that's why. So a lot of people have tried to do what we do out there in Glamis, and they're not successful at it. They don't make any money. They have to close up shop because, again, when you're in the mindset of repairing everything properly the first time, you know, it's going to take you too long. You'll never make enough money to survive out there. You have to get cars in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, high volume. That's how you make money in Glamis. That's how you have a business there. So, for instance, if we get a car that comes in that's bent in A-arm, some people just don't get it. Yeah. Put a welder in my hand and I'll make applesauce. Oh, yeah. Somebody comes in with a bent A-arm. Like, I know the proper way to repair it is to build a new A-arm, right? But I don't have a jig out there to build a new A-arm. I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my acetylene torch and I'm going to heat your A-arm up. And I'm going to beat it into submission and I'm going to straighten it out the best I can. And I'm going to take a piece of angle iron and I'm going to drop it right on top of your A-arm and I'm going to MIG weld the crap out of that thing. And in 15 minutes, you're back out having fun again. And for $150 or whatever, you know, that the charge is for that. That's just what we do. Again, like I said, I know the right way to fix it is I'll tell you guys a story. So we had a guy come in that broke his A-arm, like separated in two pieces. He took a hard hit, and him and his buddies had these brand new tool sets, and they hose clamped wrenches to the A-arm to straighten it out, right, to get it back to the shop. And the one guy who owned the wrenches left. He went next door to the store. And I said, hey, man, this thing looks pretty straight. Did it drive good? And he goes, yeah, it drove great. We just want to get it welded up. And I said, all right, so why don't we just weld the wrenches right in place? And he goes, hey, that's a great idea. So we literally welded his brand new wrenches right to the A-arm. His buddy comes back and he's like, where's my wrenches? he says, where's my wrenches? And I said, no, they're right there on the arms. We took the hose clamps off and they were welded. So that guy is still tuning in that car with those welded wrenches. He came in last season and showed them to us again. I took a picture with it. 3 years he's been tuning with Craftsman wrenches that we MIG welded to an A-arm. Pretty cool. His buddy was pissed that he ruined his wrenches, but I thought it was pretty funny. Watching your videos during the Dune season, you guys bust ass out there. Most definitely. Brandon, most people do leave there happy. We do have a lot of people that piss and moan about the prices. It is what it is, man. Come prepared. If you don't want to pay the prices out there, show up prepared. Bring your own spare CVs, bring your own spare axles, bring your own, be prepared. It's like a Boy Scout. What's up, Jeff Moe? Another one back in the dunes. Yep. Jeff, you got to come out, dude. I'm going to be motor swapping that Mazda mini truck pretty soon and shooting some video on it. And I know when you were here, you mentioned something about flipping the ball joints over. You're the Mazda suspension guru, dude. I need you. So when I get ready to work on that truck, I want you to come out and help me. We'll pull the bed back off it. I'll have you look at that triangulated 4-link in the back too. See what we can do with that, if anything. I know it needs new bushings, but I want you to check it all out. What else, guys? What else is going on this Friday evening? Someday I'll make it out to the dunes. Definitely, dude. Definitely. As soon as I pick the motor up and get that all ready, definitely. I'll let you know. You guys will have a blast out here. The sad part about it is I put you guys in one of these cars. You guys might end up selling your race cars because this shit is addicting. Addicting. It's that same feeling you get in the race car for that 9-10 seconds or less, but it's the same feeling for hours at a time for as long as you're driving. It's hard to explain it. Don't say that. Yeah, exactly. Later, Brandon. How far am I on the Civic motor? See, what had happened was the crank's not here yet. I'm over the racing. Crank's not here yet. It won't be here till Tuesday. And I leave for Friday. I leave for Cancun on Friday. So Thursday night, Tom will be here and we'll be putting my motor together Thursday night. Because the minute I get back from Cancun, I got to start loading up to head to Colorado for the race. Dude, you just ran your first 8-second pass and you're over the racing? No way, dude. You can't be done yet. Right on, Emerson. Yes. The Bosch pumps are expensive. And I'll tell you why the Bosch pumps are so expensive. If you care to know why. We don't buy them on Amazon like everybody else does because the Bosch 044s that you buy on Amazon, they're fake. They're Chinese repops, and half of them don't work. And if they do work, they don't provide the right fuel pressure, the right volume. Ask us how we know. We bought 50 of them and dropped our price one season, and 25 of the pumps got returned because they were all junk. So we buy our Bosch 044s straight from like McMaster Car or one of the higher end automotive auto parts warehouses, and we pay. Mine was a fake off of Amazon. Yep. we pay top dollar for those pumps. I think we get 435 for a 044, and I think we pay 290 something for them, 300 something for them. I don't know. It's high. I don't do the pricing. That's Dave's department, but I know we pay a lot for those pumps, and that's why we charge so much for them. The other problem is when we buy 10 of those pumps, they get to sit on the shelf all season long, and that money's tied up in that little shelf all season. So, you know how that goes. Don't buy a Bosch 044 off Amazon. You can get them for like $99 or something. It's ridiculous. We had to refund, half the customers that bought them from us. Some not so smart people telling you how to fix their broken car. Oh man, I get that all the time. You were there for one of those? That's that's just one of those things where we get that sometimes, It's I've had a couple temper tantrums there where I said, "You want to fix it? Fine, you fix it yourself." Now, sometimes people don't understand that that's just what we do. And then the other thing is that a lot of people don't know. They know of San Lamo, but they don't know that Joe Fab at Glamis Fab is San Lamo. A lot of people don't know. What up, Mr. Jim? A lot of people don't know that. So when they come in and we explain it to them, then they shut up real quick. Yes, they do. And I'm like, you guys know we are a sand car manufacturer, right? Well, we used to be. We still are. We still build cars, but and they go, "Oh, you are?" And I go, "Yeah, have you ever heard of San Lamo?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, that's Joe Fab right there, the owner of San Lamo." And they go, "Oh, love your channel." Well, thanks, Rich. I appreciate it. Yeah, they Sherry definitely said it. They shut up real quick when they find out. There's always going to be haters. We understand that, but is what it is. Have I ridden on the Snowcat? What are your thoughts on it as a recovery vehicle? Mr. Jim, for Idaho dunes. Yes, I definitely want to get a trip to Idaho. I was planning on having this done a lot sooner, but the powder coat took a lot longer than expected, and that's fine. I'm not mad about it or nothing. I expected to have that done already. I was planning like a loop. I was going to go up through Idaho, Oregon, or Oregon, Idaho, up, all through those dunes. I definitely want to get out there. As for the Snowcat, I have ridden in the Snowcat years and years and years ago, back when Tim used to run it. It's a great recovery vehicle. It works very well when it's working. The problem is that it's designed for snow, and there's when sand gets in there, it doesn't get happy. It does throw tracks quite often, and it's very slow. When it comes to dune recovery, how long have you known Brent and the guys from PFI? Cameron, I'll get back to that in just a second. It's kind of a two-part question. The Snowcat, so it's very slow, and they charge you from the minute it leaves until the minute it drops your car off. So I think it only goes 6 miles an hour or something through the dunes. Very, very slow. So it's very expensive to get towed out. If you could figure out a way to not let the sand affect the tracks and all what's going on with the tracks, and I don't know how that system works, but it makes it for a great recovery vehicle. It goes anywhere. But I know there's a couple of F-350s out there on tracks now that have been doing pretty well as well. So how long have I known Brent and the guys at PFI? I have known Brent. I met Brent at either an NHRA event at Pomona or a NOPI event, one or the other, at Pomona or Las Vegas, probably 25 years ago when he had the original Bully, and I was racing. I had my shop, Whole Shot Racing. We were campaigning in a race car as well. He was in the hot rod class. I met Brent then. I knew of him. I knew that I think Brent ran the first 9-second Honda pass on the mountain in Colorado in a Honda. I knew of him. We had met, talked a little bit here and there. And then, fast forward 20 plus years later, about 5 years ago, I met him again in Glamis. And they had come out for their first time in Glamis or whatever. And we got to talking and realized that we had a ton of mutual friends, Tom, whatever, and then realized that we had met each other, years and years and years ago through drag racing. So Brent, I've known for 20 plus years. The rest of the boys at PFI, been hanging out with them for about the last 5 or 6 years, pretty regularly during the race season. Garrett's car's looking good. I hope all these kids get over what happened at Charlotte. UTV takeover happened already. I'm not sure. Brent is the reason we have so many rules. Yes, I was actually at that event when his flywheel come apart and parts flew up into the stands at Pomona. I was there. Luckily I wasn't in the stands. I was in the pits, but I did hear about that. It's lucky it didn't cut his legs off. And then the car I forget what car, I thought it might have been the Bully, but I do remember seeing a car, somebody's Honda, that the flywheel had come through the tunnel, and there was a bunch of rivets holding the steel, holding it back together. Did UTV takeover happen already? I'm not sure. What happened at Charlotte? I don't know. I don't follow NASCAR. All these kids get over what happened at Charlotte. What happened? I don't know what happened. Garrett took out some cars. It was the Sierra, yeah. Oh, did he crash at Charlotte? It was a bad deal. Oh. Well, I think I saw something that he finished the race though, right? But he crashed. They were able to get him back out. Like I said, I don't follow NASCAR. It's just kind of not my flavor. Yeah. Was a bad deal. From what I understand, he's doing really well. Even with the crashes and motor problems or whatever he had, he's finishing top 10 or whatever, but the guy that won is almost at cup level and lapped Garrett. Right on. Well, listen, Garrett's a hell of a driver, and I'm sure he'll figure it out. I have not seen that guy get behind the wheel of anything that he can't control and drive. First time I met Garrett was in Glamis, and it was before he had this car. And there's a pretty infamous jump at the swing set in Glamis. And I don't know if Jim, I don't know if you're a Glamis guy or not, but if you've ever been there and you've been to the swing set, you've seen the swing set jump. Well, 4 or 5 years ago when he first came out, that swing set jump was a lot bigger than it is now. All his fanboys turned on him again after he got, oh, yeah. So we went out to the swing set, and we're all hanging out there. And Garrett, without even like really scoping the jump out or anything, just freaking sent it in his Can-Am. And I mean, sent it. He went fucking big. And yeah, the jump's dead now, but 5 years ago, it was huge. He fucking sent it. And dude, I've been going to Glamis almost my whole life, and I've only wheelied off the jump up there. I won't jump it. I've seen too many people get life flighted out with broken backs, and that's just. And normally my wife and my daughter are in the car with me too, so but we're out there to have a good time, not fly on the helicopters. So he friggin' sent it, and I was like, holy crap! And then on the way back, we were tuning, dude, and that guy, he could just drive. Glamis is really something that will test your driving capabilities 100%. I don't care if you're good at drag racing, at NASCAR, at this or at that. Glamis is a whole. Vince was one of them. The guy in the white sand car that broke his back. Yeah, that was gnarly. And then there's that. I don't know if you saw the video of that Honda TRX painted car, the red one, that Tatum that landed on its ass end and flipped right the day it was brand new or whatever. Yeah, he's definitely a natural at anything he gets behind the wheel of. Like I said, Glamis is a whole nother way of driving, and it's taken me years to hone my skills out there and driving with a lot of experienced guys. And the minute that he got into this car, it was all over with, dude. That guy could wheelie, he could dune. He just, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a nut rider. Garrett's a good dude, and that guy can fucking drive anything. I don't care what anybody says. That's it. Later, dude. See you, Brian. I'm going to go a few more minutes here before I got to go in and get dinner. Man, I was really hoping that hater guy was going to jump on here, but oh well. Is what it is. Garrett will be back at Bristol. Yeah, I'm sure he will, dude. I'm sure he will. Jamie just texted me. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, take care of that. Is there anyone hiring for a job at Glamis? I don't know. Banshee guy, what's my opinion on the street bike powered car? They're fast, dude. The King Sand cars and stuff. The only bad part about them is if they have a reverse box in them. And I know it sounds weird, but when the gears go out in those reverse boxes, they're very expensive to rebuild because they're 100% custom made. I know Tom Pro makes a gearbox, and I think there's one other company that makes something similar. If it's just a straight street bike powered car with no reverse box, they freaking rip. I've seen guys that have owned them for years and years with no troubles. My buddy JT's had a bunch of them, and his son as well. And they freaking rip. They rip. I've seen some turbo Hayabusa cars out there that are freaking fast. I just worked on a Tom Pro right before the season ended. I put electric power steering in it. Yeah, I think my buddy JT, I think he bought Tom's car. Bristol's going to be a rough one, but he's smart. You guys are talking Cletus and NASCAR. Like I said, I'm not too into NASCAR. I don't follow it very much. But when's my buggy going to be ready? She's right there. Very soon. I'm going on vacation next week, and then I'll jump back on it when I get back. After I go drag racing. Like I said, I don't follow NASCAR stuff, but I was looking at some statistics the other day about NASCAR. And did you know that the average NASCAR viewer is 55 years old or older? They have no young demographic at all. And then I heard that it's the same or even worse for F1. Their demographic is horrible. So I can definitely understand why NASCAR wants Garrett. I think they definitely need him more than he needs them, but he wants to do it, and he's getting good at it. So good for him. And again, it's crazy because I've duned with all of those guys, with obviously Biffle because his shop's right behind ours, but all the NASCAR guys that have come out to the dunes, I've been duning with all of them before, and hung out with Kyle Busch. I've hung out with all those guys, and I just was never into NASCAR. I don't know why. It's not my thing. I'm more of a straight line drag race guy. Been drag racing a very long time, since I was a kid. Trip was awesome. The trip before Camp Razor. Yeah, that was a cool trip. Yep. They have a trip planned in October. They're coming out again. I don't know if it's going to be during Camp Razor or not. I've got the date somewhere, but I'm not going to post them or anything or tell anybody. But yeah, they're coming out again this year. Yeah, most definitely. And why wouldn't they, right? It's a great idea. It's definitely a great idea. And I forget, I don't know, it wasn't Kyle Busch, but I'm trying to remember which NASCAR guy it was that broke his back in Glamis. They had all, right on, Cameron. NASCAR's never seen it. Tony, was it Tony Stewart? Yeah, it might have been Tony Stewart, but they were all out at Pratt's place. And we're all on their way back, like 5 or 6 of them. And he got separated from the group, and just, like I said, driving in Glamis is a whole nother deal. I think he went off a Razorback or something, or went down a dune and nosed the car in. And the story I was told is that he got out of the car and his back hurt so bad he kind of crawled up a little bit in a dune and kind of dug a hole to sit his back down in the hole so it didn't hurt. And then it took him a couple hours to find him, but they found him. Obviously they found him, but yeah, that was a bad deal out there. So always got to be mindful of what you're doing out there. It is very, very dangerous. You can go from having the best day of your life to the worst day of your life in a split second if you're not careful. Yes, and my wife is a road racer kind of person. In case, yeah, I guess, babe, I can tell them. You guys don't know it or not, my wife used to road race motorcycles. I forgot who it was. He didn't have a Subaru Power Rail. Yeah, I don't remember what. It was one of Pratt's cars, I think, that he crashed in. Pratt has a whole bunch of cars. Later, Jared. And my wife used to road race motorcycles, which is why she supports my racing habit. She doesn't do it anymore, but I think she's starting to get the itch again. So I might be buying a street bike pretty soon. Yes, she is a kick butt wife. She was like when we met, she was like full swing road racing, like every other weekend, Willow Springs. You know, it was kind of crazy to see my girlfriend coming out of turn 8 or whatever at Willow and coming onto the straight at 150 miles an hour. I have road race bikes and dirt bikes in the dunes. and you know, dragging her knee out of the corner and then just tucking him. It was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And she got pregnant. We had a kid. That was kind of the end of that deal. Sorry, babe. Phil, you have road race bikes and dirt bikes in dunes. Cool. Yeah, what the crazy thing is that one of the riders that my wife used to train, or, you know, he was a little kid at the time racing in her dad's association, went on to be an AMA superbike champion, multi-gazillionaire, and his name's John Hopkins. But he was just a little kid when my wife raced. We used to call him Fievel. I see boys had snowmobiles. Yeah. Yeah, look up John Hopkins. Just upgraded the dirt bike to a XL80. Right? Heck yeah. Yeah, everyone hit the like button. Shit, I didn't even hit the like button. Maybe I should do it. Dude, the Sea Boys are awesome. Yeah, those guys are cool. They're legit. They actually have a sand rail as well. I've been talking with Micah and I forget what the other guy. We exchanged numbers when I saw him out at the Freedom Factory. I just told them when they're ready to bring that car out, you know, if they wanted to leave it, I could do the same thing that I do for Cletus and for Kyle with them and prep it. And cool to see them out. That would be the plan. That would be. They came out not this season, but the season before, but they didn't bring their sand car. They do have a long travel sand rail. If you watch their videos, they just problem is they keep letting the one guy drive it, and he's just clutching it and breaking CVs constantly. So if we could just teach him how to mellow out a little bit, that car would last. It's a cool car. Evan's dude, he's another one that can just drive anything. Hope to see the Razzle Dazzle. Yeah, if they're all coming out in October and Kyle comes, Razzle will be out there, and Danger Evan. Kyle will be out there with his car. His car's just right outside my shop door right here under a cover. Normally it's inside, but I'm doing all this work, so Kyle's car is ready to go. I go out there and start it and let it run every couple days. I think hopefully I'm going to be able to talk Kyle into let me strip his whole car down and do that to it. And it needs some rear suspension upgrades because whoever put the Honda V6 in there, the shocks are like right here, and you can't get spark plugs out without pulling the motor out. Razzle would beat all those cars at the drags probably. Yeah, you're probably right. I have driven Razzle in the dunes and at the drags, and that car just on the wastegate is stupid violently fast. All probably too fast for the chassis that it's in, but it is crazy fast. Since we put the sequential in there, it's gnarly. I don't know what wastegate springs in it. I know it made, the last time it was on the dyno, it made 600 and something horsepower. What else? What else, guys? I'm almost going to call this here. So, has got any more questions? Yeah, it was crazy when the Sea Boys brought that R8 or R6 or whatever that thing was out there. That was pretty cool. So, crazy story is, if you watch the Sea Boys channel, the weekend that they put them in the helicopter, that's the weekend that Cletus broke the rear control arm on this thing. And when he broke it, he was way out in the dunes. And they called me, and they had me get a generator and a 110 welder, and they were going to fly me on Dave Sparks's Blackhawk, and fly me out into the dunes to weld this thing up so he could drive it back. And I just we missed it by 20 minutes. I guess the sun went down over the horizon. Then once it was dark, they couldn't fly anymore. And dude, that would have been the most epic thing ever. That would have been a great video, flying me out in the middle of the dunes to weld something up with a generator so he could drive it back. Would have been sick. I'm sure there'll be more opportunities for content like that. It's hard, though, when they came out, because that was Camp Razor weekend, and it was out of control. So it's really hard for them to do stuff all together like that during that weekend. When you finish my harness, can I just send my... John, when you finish my harness, can I just send my car out for you to get it running? LOL. John, do I have your harness with me? Or are you sending me a harness? So yes, I have it, or yes, you're sending it. I have to look at my list. It's been a while. Yes, I have it. You sure I didn't send it back to you already? I'll check my list. I thought I was finished for a little bit, but I'll check. Where are you, John? Where are you from? That'll refresh my memory because my list is in the house. I'll set in the car. Kentucky. I already shipped your harness, bud. Now I'm going to have to go check my shipping. I think I shipped it a while back, too. Uh-oh. Well, I have all the tracking numbers. I'll check it out, bud. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was finished with harnesses there for a bit. I've got 3 in the queue right now, but Hunter, you grew up in the neighborhood I live in. I knew your neighbors well. Hunter, which neighbors? Because the only neighbors that I really know are the ones to the left and right of me. They're cool. The rest of them don't talk to me. There's some old lady that lives across the street that came screaming and yelling at me. My best friend's mom ran that treatment plant behind your house. Oh, right on. Yeah, you moved like 20 years ago. Oh, right on. Let's see. Damn, I'm so busy. How do you find time to do all? Jeff, I just don't stop moving, bro. It's the same thing when we were kids, man. I just don't stop. Twin turbo versus supercharger, LS for the dunes. For duning, supercharger. Twin turbo will be like, and then come up, where a supercharger, the boost curve is linear. The power is always there as soon as you step on the throttle. So if you're just building a dune car, I would supercharge it. Put a blower on it. You want to go fast in a straight line, twin turbo. Put that up a little bit more. Well, let's put that down. How's that? Make everybody sick. Hunter, this neighborhood is not what I guess what it once was. There's tons of old people around here. They don't like me very much. You need a deal on a supercharger for your Camaro. So because they see cars coming in and out of my back here to get to my shop, you ran that neighborhood as a kid. Hell yeah. Dude, it's quiet over here now, bro. It's super quiet. There's no kids out, no one riding bikes. Nobody's garages are open. Like, it's oh, hell yeah. Cletus needs to hook you up on a Whipple. Bought you a 250R when you were like 11. Hell yeah. You saw that I know your boy, high-end Mike. Yeah, Mike is a good friend. I've known him a very, very long time. Used to ride in the development that became the freeway. Oh, that's sick, dude. Yeah, Mike is he's awesome. He's been really good to me over the years. Definitely still a sponsor of my car. Takes care of me on whatever I need, whenever I need it. Ships things overnight if I need them. Yeah, Mike's a good dude. Definitely. I've known him for 20 plus years. He's throwing the F-22 seater, 500 horsepower. Nice. That's cool. You rode in the development that became the freeway. So was that before the canal was here too? or were you able to kind of curve? I'm at the very end of the fence. I'm like the last house that you can get to. Canal's been there since the 80s. Got it. So if you're behind our houses, mine dead ends at the fence line. I'm the very last one. Not the last one on the street. I'm in the middle. But if you're back, you know the area. The cool thing is I knocked the block wall down behind my house, and the company I work for owns the cell tower that's there. So at the end of my street, there's the gate. Have you torn down the Civic yet? Have I torn down the Civic yet? My Civic's at your shop, bro. It's in my trailer. I tore down the motor. Oh, right on. And the balcony. Yeah, that's Mike, my next door neighbor. He's got a shop back there too. Brent, I tore down my car at your shop on Saturday while you guys were sleeping. Heck yeah. Yeah, motor's already apart. You were right. We bent a rod. We actually didn't bend the rod. We actually shortened it. The rod now goes down and it goes in the middle. So shortened the rod, it rolled the bearing, trashed the crank. Yeah, crazy small world. Trashed the crank. So I got a GSR crank on the way. I'm going to put my Manly's. Can you tell Cletus I'm hating on him and taking all the Whipple superchargers over? Yeah. So I got a GSR crank on the way. I'm going to put my Manly Turbo Toughs and with the Trom Outlaws. I'm going to use my new motor, but I'll be ready. Kind of stock J35 handle boost. Yeah, it can handle a little bit of boost. The weak spot in a J35 is the rods. They're very, very small. You put a set of rods in a J35 and a set of forged pistons, it'll hold all of it. They'll make a lot of power. So that's cool, Andrew. You had an F20 car. That's pretty sick. What management system was on your F20 car? Do you know? Remember? Was it on Honda? Famous OP. What are you working on? All kind of stuff. You just came on. Oh, right on. Yeah, just getting my car finished, which is up there. Got some stuff going on with this car here. Going to finish it up. This car leaves on Monday to go get a new motor put in, so it'll be out of here and out of my hair. And then I got just a bunch of stuff. And the balcony. A small one. I'm trying to read the comments, but my eyesight ain't that great. Can you tell Cleve I'm hating on him and taking all the Whipple superchargers? So now he owes me one. Yeah, I'll get right on that, bro. He's got a Whipple in this car too. He'll have a spare because this motor and this Whipple's coming out. And they're putting a 427 with a new Whipple with the fat belt, the whole deal in there. So it should be interesting. That car will rip. I'm hoping that my little NA motor up here is going to keep up. It should. This thing, my car should make close to 700, naturally aspirated. Yeesh. You want for an LT motor. Yeah. If you want an LT motor stuff, put an OEM blower on it, dude. That sand car that's like mine that I sold, the copper car, had an LT motor in it, an LT4. That thing made 780 horsepower to the tire through a giant transaxle. Dude, those things stock. The motor was bone stock, dude. And they just turned the boost up and tuned it. Those things make stupid power with a blower on them, dude. It's insane. You can find somebody. That would be my best suggestion: is find someone that's upgrading from a stock blower to like a Whipple or something, and put a stock blower on it, dude. It'll make all the power. Those LT motors are freaking insane. It's just stupid how much power they make. My nephew's got one in his Nova that's non-supercharged. I think it just has a little cam in it, and it made like 480 horsepower to the wheels. Stupid, just insane what those things make. Well, Hunter, I wish the neighborhood was still like that, but it's not. It's stupid quiet over here. Every time I start a car, somebody complains about it. Whatever. All right, I got about 15 minutes left, guys. What else? I got to go in and eat dinner soon. Hi. Can't wait to see your Honda puts down. And can hold new power. Mine runs good for what it is, just more power. Yeah, mine. I'm going to try to make 1,000. Come to find out, if you guys watched my last video, that block it's actually right here bagged up. That block was not sleeved. It was just CSS. I made 732. We're going to see an 8 this year. Yeah, I hope so. 1,000 horsepower junket. Yes, I just want water. No more density. So thank you, babe. 1,000 horsepower is what I'm shooting for, bud.
Leave it.
Huh?
Leave it.
No.
Hi, guys.
We're going to see an 8 this year. Yeah, that's the plan. That's what I'm hoping for. Brent, you weren't on earlier, but oh, cool. Thank you for subscribing, dude. Need to junk mine then. What up, Jared? I sent my transmission over to Bryant Robinson and had him pull it apart and go through it. And he found a ton of debris in my transmission. Even though it worked good, I put it together, he couldn't figure out where the debris had come from because there's nothing broken in there. We did find some pitting on 4th gear because I'm an idiot and I like to run OEM fluid with a straight cut gear set. But turns out that the debris more than likely came from the LSD that I bought from Shane. And it's my fault. I should have taken it apart and cleaned it. I know Shane's been through several transmissions with that GearX LSD I bought from him. There was probably a piece of something in there that I didn't catch. And so hindsight, we're good. I just need to put some bearings in it. My transmission is all good, but I just wanted to have him go through it and check it. Thank God I did, because it probably would have trashed something. Let's see if I can find that. See if this works. Check this out. Let me see if this works. See if you guys can see this. So there's all the debris. Oh yeah, you guys can see that. That was on the discs that are inside the LSD. And then the pitting, and let me show you the pitting in 4th gear real quick. You tell me what you think. Get up here. It's just a lot of material. Here we go. Check it out. That's my 4th gear. Phil, no, the bearing didn't let loose. The rod shrunk. We bent a rod. Brent, what'd you think of that picture of the 4th gear? Makes me a little bit nervous, but it was still holding and shifting fine and driving fine. So it either came out of the LSD or maybe I freaking dropped. I don't know, dude. I don't know. But he said the majority of the debris was coming from the inside the LSD. And I think maybe something when Shane broke a transfer case or something, a piece went in there. I should have taken it apart and cleaned it, but I got home and got excited, put it together. You know, it is what it is. So it still works and everything's fine. I'm good to go. So, all right. Cool. I just ordering food. It's amazing how they hold metal in places. Yeah, it's crazy. I couldn't believe it. Do you think that the bearing went out from the squish of the newer turned up power? I don't know. I think it's just because the rod bent. It just didn't like it. Maybe a little too much timing in it. Who knows? I don't know. So my move now is I got Manley's, my Trom Outlaws, and my new block and a GSR crank coming. I'm going to hopefully get all that together, but I'm leaving for Cancun Friday, a week from today. The crank will be here Tuesday. So I'll start putting the motor together Wednesday. Tom will be here Thursday night. He'll help me finish putting the motor together. And then we should be good to go. I got to have the motor assembled before I leave for Cancun, because when I get back, I got to load everything in the truck and head out to you to get it all put in. Famous OP. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Go back and watch some of my old videos. You'll like them. RM250 this weekend. Spun crank bearing. Easy week. Yeah, the bad part about Hondas, guys, if you guys don't know the 4-cylinder Honda stuff we do, you spin a bearing and destroy the crank, it's a boat anchor. You can turn them down and oversize the bearing and have the crank renitrated. It just never works right. Finding someone to reharden a crank like that, it's just not worth it. So every time you spin a bearing and trash a crank, you've got to find another crank. And they are getting harder and harder to find. So that part's unfortunate. But so this will be my third Honda crank in 4 years. The last one I trashed, it didn't spin a bearing. The motor just started eating itself. It dropped the sleeve and things got wonky in there. And a bunch of trash just went through the oiling system and destroyed the crank. OEM dirt parts are easy to replace. Okay, yeah. So I am switching back to a GSR crank because I have a set of rods that'll hold power. I am going to lose a little bit of stroke in the motor. So it'll make probably a little bit less power, but not crazy. Probably make a little less torque, probably same power. But this one, we're going to turn it up. I've got a lot more stuff planned for my Honda. This block's going to go get re-sleeved because it wasn't sleeved. Aiden Engineering is going to do it for me. Anthony Dahl will sleeve that one, and then we're going to go 83 millimeter on that one and put my aluminum rods in it. And then LS crank so it has the stroke it needs. And that motor, I want to make 1,300. Yeah, Phil, you definitely have to stockpile it. It is getting hard to find. But when you have friends like Brent, who it's funny because I was at the shop last week at PFI and I was like, man, you guys don't know. You guys need to clean up around here. You don't throw anything away. But then when I go, hey, wait a minute. Hey, I need this. They go, yep, we got it right here. And I go, I am so glad you guys don't throw anything away. So catch 22. But Honda cranks are getting hard to find. You know, if you can find them, the prices are starting to skyrocket. I put a wanted ad up for a crank, and I had a couple guys reach out. I picked one up for $350. That's in good shape. But I had a guy reach out. He wanted $800 for a GSR crank. I'm like, dude, are you out of your mind? You know, I just bought 2 of them for $750. He's like, nope, I'm firm, $800. This is the price. And eventually he will sell it for $800. Like it is what it is. But I really wish. What's up, man? What's new around the shop? What's new around the shop? I got my insulation done up there. Working on my car. It's up on the lift. I got Cleet's car back here. I'm doing the CVs on it. I'm putting these back. Let me show you these guys. These freaking things are gnarly. These are the Gear 1 Super CVs. These are going in Cleet's car. Probably the best CV joint on the market, hands down. I don't care what anybody tells you about CV joints. Gear 1 Super CVs, best thing on the market, 100%. Can't buy any better. These are pretty cool. This is something that I got turned on. This is all going to be in my next video, guys, but I'll share this with you. I wasn't really, let me get CV flange. So here's the CV flange, right? So the boot goes over this, and then this bolts to the CV. And that's bolted to the trans or to the hub. It depends on which side, right? So in Cleet's car, he's got these extra holes here. And there was a metal flange bolted to that and a piece of rubber inside there. And it was like some sort of a homemade CV saver. So when I went over to Gear 1 to pick up the CVs and the parts for the car, I was talking to Parker over there about it. And he goes, oh, yeah, we make leather ones. And I'm like, what? I had never seen a setup. Call me dumb, whatever, naive. I've been working in Glamis, working in Stant Cars 11 years. I'd never seen a setup like this. So what this does is that bolts in there like that. And then your axle shaft goes through the middle. And it'll travel up and down. It'll self-clearance around here. But what this thing does is it keeps all your grease inside here. It keeps it from flinging out of the CV. Freaking genius. And they work. So this is a CV that was out of my car from Race Week. Has over 1,000 miles on it. Same company, Gear 1 Super CV. Rem polished and cryo treated, and 3 hard seasons on it. I just cleaned them in the video I was filming, and they're like brand new inside. You ever traveled to different dunes, even though Glamis is hard to beat? Yeah, I've been to Pismo. I've been to Dumont. I want to try to get up to Idaho and to some of the other dunes this year. I was going to do a little dune tour when my car was done, but I said earlier, it was supposed to be done with powder a month ago, and it got held up, and which is not a big deal. I'm not sweating that at all. The guy who powder coated my car is freaking top notch. I was going to do a little dune tour. I was take a couple weeks off of work and just load this thing up in the trailer and head out and go to like Idaho and Oregon and check out those dunes with my new car. And I just, with the race season here now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it. So I'm having a lot of fun right now, traveling and drag racing. Tried the Cinder Core north of Flagstaff. No, I've never been to Hunter. I do have a Razor, and a bunch of people I know have gone up there, but no, I haven't been up there yet. I do want to check it out. It's friggin' epic. Yeah, that's called the Cinders, right? That's where everybody goes. Next time they go up there, I'll have to make sure I go. I have a 2-seat Razor. The Cinders. Yeah, definitely. I'll have to go check that out. I've heard a lot about it. It's north of Flagstaff. So is that like an overnight thing, or can you do a day trip? Some of those hills are more than a quarter mile. Oh, wow. That's cool. I'll definitely have to go check that out overnight. Yeah, it sounds like fun. I'll have to check that out. Right on. What else, guys? Give me a couple more questions before I jump off of here. Man, I'm bummed. I wish that freaking hater would have jumped on here. It shreds tires, though. Gotcha. Let's see here. Thanks for the live. Good weekend. Yep. I'll be out at where the hell am I going tomorrow? I'll be at Blythe. Going to the river tomorrow. Go watch the boat races with Tom, with my boy Tom. 5 grit sandpaper. Nice. It shreds tires, though, so be prepared. Like 5 grit. Oh, dude, it's gnarly, huh? Yeah, that'd be cool. Man, I wish that hater would have jumped on here. Chump. Oh, well. Can't win them all. Can't make them everybody happy. Everyone's going to have something to say. You need a job like mine. Chris, dude, I get that a lot, actually. A lot of people ask me about what I do. I've been doing what I do for over 30 years. I'm old. So I get a lot of PTO every year. So I use the crap out of it. And then with my job, I can do a lot of stuff on my laptop remotely. So I can fix things, change settings, reset stuff. And yeah, a lot of times I don't have to physically go out to a site. I could be drag racing in Colorado and log in remotely and fix something in Arizona or California or wherever I need to, or Las Vegas. I can fix it remotely. So a lot of times when I'm out there with you guys, I'm actually still working. I am pretty privileged, man. I am. I do get to do a lot of cool stuff, and I enjoy it. Definitely enjoy it. I'll talk to you a little about it. Yeah. Definitely. All right, guys. I'm going to go like another 5-10 minutes. So throw some questions out there. I think my dinner is almost here. God, I really wish that freaking hater would have jumped on here, man. Damn it. Ruben, what up, dog? I don't get it. It's like people, not that I'm supposed to care what subscribers think or whatever. My favorite lake area, Mesa. Right? Dude, Hunter, I've never been out riding in local in Mesa. How did you meet San Lamo Joe? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, Hunter, I've never been. Once. I take that back. I've been out once, and it was really dusty. We went up to the rim, and it was real dusty. Let's see here. Clear in the oil pan. Yes. Yeah, I lost my motor. How did I meet San Lamo Joe? I bought a San Lamo. I bought this car 12 years ago, and found out that he had a shop in Glamis, and went by there and showed him the car and got to talking with him. And I was going to have him do some work on the car. And then I don't know what I was doing. I made some changes to the suspension when I first bought it, and I went back out there, and I went by myself, and I was just running up and down Sand Highway, and then I go, I'll just take Sand Highway up to the shop and say hi to Joe, and he's there, and we're sitting out in the chair talking, and some guy comes in with a brand new car, some $300,000 Funko. and they're out there shaking it down for the first time, and the fan stopped working. The car was overheating. And Joe knows that much about car electrical. Literally zero. He's wired one car in his lifetime, his first car, and it caught on fire the first time he went to the dunes. He'll tell you the same story. That God's honest truth. That guy can weld anything and fabricate anything, but I now wire all the cars for San Leno. So we're sitting out there, and Joe says to the guy, "I'm sorry, I don't do electrical. I don't know anything about it." And he was going to send the guy away, and I was like, "Whoa! Wait a minute, what's going on here?" So I went and looked at the car and started, tracing things, figuring out. Within 30 seconds to a minute, I had his fans working. I just bypassed the trigger on the relay and just grounded it. So the ECU stopped telling the fan to come on for some reason. So I just grounded the trigger to the relay, and the fans came on. And I just told the guy, the fans are going to be on all the time, but car cooled right down. And guy drove away, handed me a $100 bill. And Joe just looked at me and he goes, "You want a job?" He goes, "I literally send all that troubleshooting away from Glamis Fab. I don't do any wiring, nothing here." He sends it all out the door and says, so I said, "Sure, why not? I'll come out here on some holiday weekends and help you out." So that's how I met Joe. That's how I came to be working at Glamis Fab. I've been there for 11 years. Yeah, it is a great memory, and Joe's a great guy. I know a lot of people have an opinion about him. They don't like him, but I tell you what, man, when you're in his circle, that guy will give you the shirt off his back, no matter what. Like, he's just a good dude. I really, really, really have a lot of respect for that guy. What's the hater would have said something? Always fun to watch you tear people up. I didn't even really want to tear him up, man. I really wanted to invite him to the shop and show me how it's supposed to be done. And that's an open invitation for all my haters. You guys see how I fix cars and how I do things. If you got a problem with the way I do it and you think it's wrong or right, come on out to the shop. Come out to Glamis and show me how it's supposed to be done. I'd love to see someone pick up a Tiguan or a MiG out there in Glamis and think they can weld just like they do in their enclosed garage. Big freaking difference out there, boys. Big difference. So I get them a lot in the repair videos. That's not how you do this. Your weld looked like crap. Da 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 da. Yeah, you know what? My weld might have looked like crap, but those two pieces of metal are stuck together and they're not going to break. And my customer is going to go out and have a great time for the rest of the weekend, and they're not going to give a shit what that weld looks like. What they gave a shit about is that they spent $5,000 to get to the dunes, and they went out there and with their family and had the rest of a good time. So, yeah, Ruben, I don't know, bro. Like, I had the video I posted about fixing that car. I had to turn the comments off. Like, people started getting like ruthless with me, like downright, like. So I'm just like, nah, I've had enough. Keep doing the YouTube thing. It's always fun. Yeah, Alex, I will keep doing all that stuff when the season starts back up. It's it's the off season, so I film other stuff. Hopefully you film it. That's the whole point. Like, I want to get someone that thinks they know. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's a lot of fabricators and guys that watch what I do. Like, I said this earlier. I don't know if a lot of you guys are on from earlier, but I know the right way to fix this car. Like, what was wrong with this car is that the tabs. Nick, no big deal, bro. I still want to see that first Fuel Tech car. The tabs for the rear trailing arms were just wallered out really, really bad. And I ended up putting a weld washer over the wallered out hole, straightened everything out, TIG welded the weld washers in, TIG welded the inside of them where it was wallered out, ground it all down, made it perfectly straight, put new Delrin bushings, new sleeves, and brand new bolts. And apparently that wasn't good enough, and that I was hokey and I don't know what I'm doing. And then guys just like seriously started just attacking my manhood, and it was crazy. I couldn't believe it. So I've never had to do that before in any of my videos, like block the comments, turn the commenting off. And I know you're supposed to have thick skin. I'm in the public eye. I get it, right? But guys like that, I invite them. Don't comment. Don't say stuff like that. Come to the shop and show me how to do it. I'd love to see what kind of a fabricator you are. Like, I get it, right? We should have taken the tabs off the back of this car and replaced them. But hey, what up, Jeremy? But the problem with the way these trailing arms are set up, when you weld those tabs in place and they're on the chassis, that is your alignment. That is your toe and your caster and your camber. If you don't set that straight from the get-go, you're totally screwed, because in a rear trailing arm suspension like this, there is no adjustment. It's literally, that's it. Don't let the people get, oh yeah. So if you cut that tab off the chassis and you re-weld it, and it is not exactly where it was before you cut it, your wheel's going to do this, that. The car's not going to drive straight. That's a big problem. They haven't lived the experience yet. No, they haven't. So the right way to do it would be to, again, cut the tabs completely off of the car, set the car up in an alignment jig, which we have, but it is a lot of work. You have to redo the alignment on this car. You got to take the coilovers apart, take the bypass off, take all the springs out, re-stroke the rear suspension. But it is a lot of work. It's like a week's worth of work, basically, for me to set the alignment on this car, when in an hour, I can throw a weld washer up there, make sure the tire's still straight, tack weld it, pull it apart, TIG weld it, and off it goes, and it's done. And it's never going to break again. It's 10 times stronger than it ever was. So ROT. So that's what I did. And I got guys telling me that I put the chamfer on the weld washer is supposed to go the other way, and you're supposed to fill that with weld. No, it goes the other way, so you can weld it flat to the tab. Like, it's just, I don't claim to be the best fabricator in the world. I don't claim to be the best anything in the world. But I work literally right next to, someone who I consider probably the top 3 fabricators, off-road fabricators in the world. Joe has forgotten more about off-road fabrication than most of us will ever know. That guy's seen it and done it. And again, what up, Mike? Che Bella is moving. Glad to see you running after you had for a long time. Right on. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, she's running, but I'm going through motors, so it is what it is. You know how it goes. You're a tuner. This just blows my mind sometimes, the comments, dude. Like, they're so quick to tell you you're wrong, so quick to tell you you don't know what you're doing, you're this, you're that, you're the other thing. And, it is what it is. And that stuff I didn't care, right? Like, they could tell me, because I kept saying the word double shear, right? That it wasn't double sheared. Yes, the arm is mounted in a double shear configuration, but that particular tab was single sheared. And by adding what I added to it, it's welded across a second plane. So to me, that's double sheared, but whatever. Who makes the most overrated high-dollar sand car, in my opinion? Wow, Zach. That is a freaking loaded question, bro. Well, wow. Let me think about that for a minute, dude, because, wow. So, again, we fixed, and I don't ever want to talk bad about any other brand or manufacturer. Most of the other sand car manufacturers we're friends with. At least I think we are. You know what? Andrew from Buckshot, great freaking dude. I love that guy. He's freaking awesome. When we had our booth at the Sand Show, he would come hang out with us. We'd have dinner together. Like, he's come to the shop in Glamis before and hung out. Him and Joe like talk trash on each other, like playfully. They text back and forth. So they have a great relationship. Rich at Tatum and Joe. Well, Rich doesn't own Tatum anymore. He sold it. But him and Joe had I think they had a pretty good relationship. Andrew's awesome. He's a good dude. I've met Rich a few times. He's a nice guy. He's always been cool to me. I've never had any beef. Chase is the new owner. Yeah, I haven't met Chase. I've talked to Tatum a couple times, Rich's daughter. She cool chick, badass truck. High-end cars. Right now, I think the number one sold car on the market is a Funko. Run any vehicle you find, weak link. Yep. Funko's probably they probably sell the most cars. They sell a lot of cars to the guys in Qatar and Dubai. Funko is all the rage over there right now. San Limo used to be all Mr. Jim. Funko is the best Dune car. I beg to differ, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. See, now you guys are getting on some good context. I forget where I was. Funko. So San Limo used to be all the rage in Qatar and Dubai. We sold a lot of cars there, and I mean a lot. Joe was friends with the Sultan of Dubai, Sheikh Abdullah, we know all those guys. All those guys that buy those Funkos now, they've all bought San Limos in the past. Joe had a falling out with one of the guys that brokers a lot of the deals over there. It wasn't about our car. It was about money. And that's why they don't buy San Limos anymore and they buy Funkos. And that's just what it is. So back to the brands of car. So Andrew makes a nice car. His new car with the drop-down door, a friend of mine has one. Really beautiful machine, nice car. God, I'm trying to think of what's like the most overrated car. I think for the money, you can buy a Funko Gen 4 and put all the F5 body stuff on it. I'm pretty sure it's the same car underneath. I've had a couple of them apart before, and I'm pretty sure it's the same car. Dude, I don't even know. I don't even know how to answer that. What's the most overrated high-end car? Dude, you got me kind of stumped, man. Hear stories about racers being put together. Yes, I have heard that as well. The early Buckshot, the X5, and this is no shade towards Andrew. He builds a hell of a car. I've driven a couple of them, and they were very nose heavy. I personally didn't like the way they drove. It took me like 45 minutes and the car I was driving made almost 1,000 horsepower, had a big blower motor in it. So when you would accelerate in a race in an X5, the front end of the car would get really light in the dunes. And then when you go to turn, the car wouldn't turn, it would push straight. You have to unload off the throttle, let the front end of the nose of the car settle in, and then get back in the throttle like halfway and make that turn. I've driven a lot of cars. What I will say is the most comfortable car that I've ever driven, hands down, Funko. Because they're on airbags. I mean, you're not going to get better than an airbag ride, right? But I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Funkos are not long travel cars. A Funko is a mid-travel car. I know their F5 stuff's probably got a little bit more suspension travel, but those are considered in the market a mid-travel car. Even through the big whoops. No, I've never driven a Funko through the big whoops, and I've never seen anyone drive a Funko through the big whoops. Um, I am partial to my San Limo. I've owned that car for 11 years. I've duned with every other car out there. I've driven SUs. I've driven Funkos. I've driven Buckshots. I've driven Tatums. Uh, I've driven everything on the market. You need to be on the gas through the whoops. Yeah. You in a Funko, you probably need to stay up. God, that's such a loaded question. And I don't like to talk bad about other sand car manufacturers or brands because they're all good, right? They're all good cars. Did I get to drive the Nissan Patrol? I did not drive it, but I rode in it, and that thing scared the living shit out of me. The diner trip, on the other hand, yes, the trip to Dooner's Diner, that's a freaking ride, dude. That's when you need a fifth gear. The Nissan Patrol was probably the scariest thing I've ever ridden in my fucking life, dude. That thing was 1,500 horsepower, twin turbo, 454. I rode in it with, and of course I rode in it with the freaking maniac who built it, Joe. So he doesn't do anything halfway when he's driving. I don't know if you like, there's a section of Sand Highway on the road to Olds where the whoops are like 4 feet tall. And Joe came through there in the Nissan Patrol on one tire. The Patrol was twisted and on one back tire and went right past us. Like nothing. That thing is freaking amazing. That Patrol, it's sick. Absolutely sick. But yeah, scared the living shit out of me. That thing's badass. His design for trucks, hands down. I'll take a San Limo truck over any truck in the dunes, over a Tatum, over a Racer, over anything. Truck for truck, I'll take a San Limo over anything. I take a San Limo truck and let Carl get a hold of the suspension. Lights out, buddy. Lights out. That bulkhead front end on a San Limo truck is hands down the best thing on the market. And if you guys know of the Bobby Boucher car that we just finished, Dave Unknown's car has the same front end on it. We put that truck front end on a 2-seat San Limo. As for the dunes, again, I'm partial to my car, and not just because it's a San Limo, but I'm going to be partial to any car that has a uniball front end in it. Waterboy. Yep. So my A-arms come down like this, and there's a uniball right there in the hub. I would take you guys over there, but I'm on the laptop now. So any car that has a uniball front end is going to turn way nicer than any other style car. I can go up Olds in this car in third gear with my foot to the floor as fast as it'll go and take my steering wheel with one finger and turn it to the left, and my car will just spin and turn. I don't have to clutch it. I don't have to do anything. That car just hooks to the sand. And again, that front and rear suspension design is the same on an Aceco, the same on a Fodril car, the same on, I think there's one other. So San Limo, Aceco, Fodril, and I think there's one other car that has the same A-arms and same rear control arms. A lot of you guys don't know this, but the owners of all those companies, they all used to work together. Way back when they were teenagers, they all ran in the same circles. They all worked at the same shops together, and they all copied each other's designs. They all did the same thing. They all worked there. So, of course, they're all going to be similar or pretty much identical. You can go to Fodril right now and buy rear control arms for a Fodril car, and they'll bolt right on a San Limo. Well, take that back. They won't bolt right on a San Limo because the alignment setup's going to be different, but they will work. Front arms will bolt right on. But uniball front end on a sand car, to me, best thing out there. Go look at a trophy truck front spindle. It's got giant uniballs in it. Why? Because you get the most travel out of it and the most turning. Anything with like a bolt through deal, horrible. Do I work with SDHQ? Also grew up in your neighborhood. Dollar for dollar, is a trophy truck or a sand car faster? Depends on where you're at. a trophy truck in the desert, like at Barstow, Maine, trophy truck's going to be faster than a sand car. In the dunes, I'll walk away from your trophy truck. I don't care who's driving it. Those things are heavy, and first and foremost, I'll walk away from your trophy truck in the dunes, and you'll probably run out of fuel before I even lose a quarter of a tank. So, yeah, I have driven a trophy truck in the dunes. It was fun. It was exciting. But, yeah, I'll walk away from a trophy truck in the dunes. No problem. Someone else had another question here that I really wanted to answer. You guys were talking about this channel. The Boosted Boys got me into sand cars. Something else like them. Be able to say I met you. And I'm learning from everyone. You, Brent, and all guys, some of the best people. Right on, dude. I appreciate that, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, the boys are awesome. Kyle's great. Brent, dude. I love that guy, dude. I can't not smile when Brent's around, dude. He's just so infectious. Kyle's awesome. Kyle's got some big things coming, you guys. So keep an eye out on what that kid's doing. I'm stoked for him. Tom Pro Hayabusa cars are the most overrated sand car. Yeah, Nick, you might be right. Racers are heavy. Let's see. Your dad has a. Yeah, I drove his trophy truck. And that's all I'll say about that. He is. Next subject. I don't even want to hear that guy's name. Your dad has a 4-seat sand limo. That's awesome. It's a nice car. Yep. Let's see. Question. Do I ever work with the SDHQ shop manager? Also grew up in your neighborhood. Who's the SDHQ shop manager? I buy stuff at Super Duty all the time, and I deal with the girl, the redhead woman behind the counter. She's awesome. Florida guys will be out the weekend before camp. I don't know if it's the weekend before camp, but they will be out in October. They'll be late for dinner. No, I'm good. Pizza's coming. Brent has a great attitude. Yeah, he's awesome. Oh, he's out there every weekend, dude. Colton, I probably met him, but I don't know. Tall, skinny dude who was in a wheelchair like 3 years ago. Yeah, I've probably met him. I don't work with him. I buy all my parts from the girl that runs the place. Let's get back to sand cars. Which ones? Again, so like I said, I drove a Buckshot X5 and it was nose heavy to me. I have not driven a new Buckshot. I do have a friend that owns 2 of them. They're his and hers cars. I haven't talked to them in a while, but I'm sure I could talk to them about how they handle and what have you. The great thing about Buckshot is Andrew's turnaround time is phenomenal. He holds to his dates, and that's what turns a lot of people on about ordering a Buckshot. When you order a Buckshot, like right now, and he says it's going to be ready for October, it's going to be ready. Phil, how long will it take mine to finish mine? I'll probably, if I had a solid week to work on it, it'd be done. I'll put in a few hours here or there. You have to remember, although I broke my car down to raw metal and redid the whole roof, all my brake lines are going back in the car. Like a lot of my stuff, my floor pans, my pedal assembly, all that stuff, I don't have to re-drill for all that's going right back in my car. So it's literally just bolting parts on here and there. So it won't take that long. It's all skinny. Oh, yeah. Cold. But like I said, I haven't driven a new Buckshot. I don't know if they're any different. I've driven tons of Funkos. I've driven an F5, F4, F5, whatever their new car is. I've driven one of those. I've driven a racer. I've driven a full-bodied racer. I've driven a Tatum. I've driven an older Tatum sand car. I've driven a brand new Tatum with a full-body car with a, twin turbo, very similar to the car that Cletus drove. I've driven one of those. Illumicraft. Phil, great. Illumicraft is a very, very, very high-quality car. A friend of mine just ordered one, and I don't think you get a lot of frills with the Lumacraft, right? Like, I don't think they do stereo systems and custom this and that and all that. They just build a solid car. They are money. We call them a Lumacrap for fun, but by no means are those cars crap. They are pretty top notch. Those and San Limos are probably the two least cars that we work on in Glamis. And that's kind of how I can gauge, what cars are what and how they're built is by how much we work on them. We work on a ton of Funkos. They have an airbag problem, and the airbag mounts usually rip off the main tube. So we've welded probably hundreds of those in Glamis. We work on a lot of SUs. People don't know that the 5-link SU cars, those heim joints should be changed every year. They just get destroyed. I have not seen any of the new SCUs yet in person. I have not. Nick, the last SCU I saw that when Don owned the company was the Climb Time car. That's the Spider-Man car. That's God, I forget his name. Really good dude, really nice guy. He also has the SCU that says what you call it? It's got Barney Rubble and Fred Flintstone on the side of it. The guy owns a rock quarry, or he's in that kind of construction stuff. He's got a big house in Havasu. He's got 2 SCUs. That's the newest SCU that I've seen or worked on. And that was prior to Don selling the company. He'll be in Idaho for the race. Spider-Man guy is only out there in October, it seems like. Yeah, it's weird. I'm not sure what he's got going on. I know he's a very, very busy businessman in the rock business. So it was weird. There was one season he was out there like every weekend, and then I only see him once in a while now. But that and the CUDA are really nice. It seems to be going in a good direction. Yeah. We've got a new car in the works. Probably another 4-seat cruiser with a radius roof. Joe's got a ton of stuff going on at the shop. I'm going to get over there on Monday and get back to wiring on this car. I don't want to say what it is. It's not a typical sandrail. It's pretty cool. But I'm going to film over there and show you what he's got going on over there. But it's a lot. So I've got to get wiring on that thing. I've already started it. And then we're going to be working on his truck. He's got an ex-Baja off-road truck, an old Ford F-150 that's got a huge small block in it with a big carburetor. And I can't wait to get that thing finished. You guys will be stoked on that. Thing's badass. And then I got Ricky's car over there. It should be off to powder here before too long. That's a basically full chassis, tear down, redo, a brand new radius roof. I don't know who originally built the car, but it's pretty much a San Limo at this point. It's got San Limo arms on it, 2-inch hollows, 934 midboards, big blower motor. That's pretty sick. Joe's white car finish. Yeah, Joe's white car's sitting up on the lift. We just need to get it over to the dyno and get it tuned. Corey, how'd my car do? I did good, man. The event got canceled due to rain, so we ended up going to Pueblo, and I got my NHRA license, and then I blew the motor up. So I got a new motor in the works, but I had a good time. And that motor owed me nothing. It's been in my car for 2 years. I've only put bearings in it once. Joe's white car. Yeah, I can't wait to rip that little white car, that little beam thing. It's pretty badass. And one of those cars, one of those old school white beam cars that Joe used to build, just sold. If you think a Funko's the best Dune car, come for a ride in my San Limo. There's a reason why they call it a San Limo. let's see here. See if I can find this. One of those cars just went through the Mecum auction. A car Joe built like 20 years ago. And let me see if I can find it here, and I'll show you guys. I think it sold for like 14,000. Yep, check it out. At no sale to 8,500, and someone offered him 14,500, and he took it. That's for a 20-year-old car. Dune car and Dune only. Is Joe going to finish his truck? Yeah, it's done. The truck's actually done. It just needs me to wire it. We pulled the dash out and pulled all the stuff out, the panels, so I could start wiring the gauges and put the air conditioning in it because it's getting vintage air. But yeah, we got a 93 Integra with a full Good head package about 23 years ago. We used to street race every weekend in San Diego. I went to San Diego a couple times, Nick, but the cops were just steep out there. I stuck more to Ontario. Bill Good, God rest his soul, man. His shop was right across the freeway from mine when I had whole shot racing in Lake Elsinore. He did a lot of throttle bodies for me. That guy did. Bill did. He was a good dude. I didn't trust his camshafts at all, but throttle bodies, dude, he was the man. Like I was putting ported big throttle bodies on K20s before anybody made them. I was taking stock ones over there, and he was porting them and putting bigger butterflies in them for me. Handmade. Yeah, I'm going to, Jeff, as soon as I get over there and start wiring it. I'm going to do an update video here, not on Monday when I get over there and start wiring stuff up. The other car that I have to wire is, it's a San Limo, but it's like something you guys have probably never seen before. Joe's made about 15 or so of them back in the day. And yeah, Jeremy, Ontario was the good old days. I'll tell you an Ontario story. Bill was the man. Taught me how to dyno with a stopwatch. Yeah, it taught you how to see how much you can usually do it mile per hour now. You know what someone's making by how much mile per hour they're running. Hard in Ontario in 01. Yeah, definitely. So we're in Ontario one night, and then where my buddy Milton, he had a 4-door Accord that was burgundy. And back then, like prelude swaps were not really common. People didn't know that, an H22 would bolt right into an Accord. And so we put an H22 in his Accord and put it on a 100 shot of nitrous. And we went to Ontario one night and just absolutely, I was there, bro. I was at Motel 6 for that riot, bro. Don't you worry. Tom showed me some pictures from it the other night when I was with Tom, and there's pictures of me that he has from it's the whole riot at Motel 6 where we may or may not have used the trash can out of my hotel room to pour the water down for the burnouts in the parking lot at Motel 6. But yeah, we're in Ontario one night. We took my buddy's Accord out there on nitrous and just whooped every freaking car that was out there. They could not believe that we had this big, heavy 4-door Accord, and we were just destroying people. That was probably one of the most fun nights I ever had. The wet t-shirt competition, yeah, the water might have came out of my trash can as well. Yeah, that and the burnouts in the parking lot. The riot police came and they actually kicked open our door at Motel 6. I tried to act like I was asleep. They weren't buying it. Yeah, we had a lot of fun out there, dude. Kind of set a bad name for the import industry, but it was what it was. We had a lot of fun. All right, guys. Well, like I said, I was hoping that hater was going to jump on here, but it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to go in and eat dinner. I'm about done. And gonna head out to the river in the morning and go watch some boats race, and then come back and finish this thing up and get it ready to go off to Quartz Performance for a new motor. And then next week I'll get back to that. You have to know my brother then, Tom from No Limit. Probably. I probably do. See you guys. Thanks for jumping in on the live, and we'll see you guys next time. Make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys. Thanks.